specifically, I remember actually being told that back casting him in Challenger over a year ago.
That just means Lord of Destruction to me. Takes me back to Diablo.
That does take you back to the olding days. Pindle runs. I would run a bot while I was asleep. That was against the terms of use.
Whoa, freak! Holy! You're gonna have
I'm pretty sure my
Blizzard at your
CDP's actually
door
banned.
tonight.
Poppy and Gangplank
Freak
off the
banned
field
from
already.
Battle.net.
I used to map hack in StarCraft 1 also.
Oh, it's all coming out. Maybe statute of limitations is up. Let's take a look at
that
the
CDP's banned too.
picks and bans here, though, because decent just priority picks as far as what's popular across the board right now. Interesting Braum ban out here, though. Has been used extremely effectively at protecting waves for teams that have to deal with large wave clear. So if you get that out of the way, definitely makes things like Viktor and the such much more effective.
Absolutely. Well, right now, though, no wave clear from the jungler. Kind of atypical anyway, but Nidalee is the first pick, but that still leaves this Kog'Maw up that LOD played yesterday.
Redemption. So. Procxin wants redemption.
All right.
He definitely took a few too many leaps without looking yesterday, and did not respect his opponents. Also, did not really calculate, the abilities that his opponents had up. You kind of have to take that into account. If they have flash up, you have to expect that they're going to outplay you with it.
Meanwhile, the crowd chanting for Soraka. This is the only time I've ever heard League players happy about Soraka being in their games, by the way. Actually, I guess it's not their game. They're watching. So, thanks for being scumbags, audience.
Playing it.
Gragas, Kog'Maw locked in here. NRG able to definitely keep Kog'Maw alive with that one. With Braum off the table, there's no way to stop a Gragas from killing you off. That said, Gragas was going to get picked anyway because Nidalee was, but either way, NRG was disengaged.
Interesting 2 picks here, because they don't have to jump on the jungle pick.
Actually,
but
they could have gone Alistar.
They're going to look for counter picks. Yeah, I thought even, Nautilus is a great all-around top laner right now that they were hovering over.
Yeah.
But they do decide to get that one jungler that has great disengage. It's really rare to find in a jungler. They've got the Kog'Maw here, so any sort of disengage is always a good pickup. And now TIP know what they need. They're going to have to find something to kill this Kog with. Kalista is a great half pickup for that.
Absolutely. And Impulse, I think, were also acutely aware that they were giving away the Kog'Maw. That's why their last ban is Braum. They know that combo's too hard to beat, but maybe Kog without the Braum is doable. So.
I mean, there are so many combos with Kog that you're like,
sure.
Just don't give away the loot. Just don't give away the just don't give away the jet.
You're absolutely right, but the Nautilus comes through. Impact did play it last week, but NRG had no rush in picking that champion up for themselves, so it is going to go pretty easily to Feng. Gate will get Bard here.
Yeah, I actually do really like Bard against Kog'Maw just because the engage is so long-ranged.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you can burn a flash if you're just good at aiming the Tempered Fate from Bard, and you can constantly throw them out. It does have a very low cooldown.
Yeah. One thing that's very strong is anytime he does press W in a team fight, just ult him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's going to lose the duration, and then you re-engage when the W's down, and you have a pretty decent team fight in front of you.
Definitely true as well.
Now, definitely a lot of engage here for Impulse alongside their Nidalee jungle NRG.
Oh, the Kog and Frog.
I know. The Frogmaw composition, is it?
Nah, I like Kog and Frog better.
Really? Okay, I'll give you that one. It's all yours. So Tahm Kench top lane for Impact alongside support Janna here for KonKwon. NRG are built entirely around their substitute AD carry LOD.
Yep. And actually, we talk about, working around the cooldown, both the uptime and the downtime of W for Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
Tahm Kench, people are like, oh, maybe not so good with Kog'Maw because he can't walk around, he can't auto when he's in the belly.
Yeah.
But as long as you devour him after he's used his W cooldown, then really you're just bypassing the weakness, the small window that you have, the enemy has to work around that as well.
Totally
and you can get to reposition the Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
But anyways, on the other side, we are looking at the dive and what TIP obviously are looking for to kill that Kog while he's outside the Frog. Nautilus is a great pickup for that because you really can't get away from the ultimate, and it disrupts the front line, even if there is a front line walking around, because it will knock up anyone on its way to Kog'Maw as well. There is that Viktor as well.
Yep.
That we talked about with the Braum ban, so wave clear is there as well for Impulse.
Okay, so a pretty well-rounded composition. The actual engage tools are a bit telegraphed, which does give some time for Impact to eat that Kog'Maw. Nautilus Ultimate being the big one where you're like, hey, it's coming. Make sure you press W.
Yeah. Also with the Janna around, does add more move speed to Kog'Maw, and he might even just be able to dodge around a lot of the Tempered Fate and the long-range stuff here from Impulse. So definitely some extra weight on LOD's shoulder. Just his second game with this team on stage, and they're very confident after his play yesterday.
Okay, NRG to make the last pick, and it's going to be Orianna in the mid lane here for GBM. Has not played it in, I think, ever actually in North America. He was known for playing this over back in Korea when he first joined up in one of the pro teams there.
Definitely true. I do really, I really like these champions like Orianna, where she can be extremely effective if the enemy team, you know, halfway through the game, there are these very intense team fights that are going on, and they lose track of the ball placement for Orianna.
Yeah.
That's something that happens a lot when there's a big threat on your team that's not your mid laner. So with Kog'Maw, and everyone's paying attention to W uptimers, you know, where's Tahm Kench? How are we diving Kog? How are we saving Kog? Sometimes the Orianna ball will get lost in the madness, especially deep into the game when these team fights are so crucial.
Yeah.
And GBM can come up with some huge game-winning, just even self-placed Orianna shockwaves that will destroy a team, you know, even if, you know, all the attention is on Kog'Maw, the Orianna can really be the one to change the game there.
Absolutely true. So two major threats on this team, GBM's Orianna and LOD's Kog'Maw. We'll see how well NRG can do in this one. Meanwhile, Impulse with a pretty well-rounded comp. We'll see what they can do with this one. You guys at home, let us know who's going to win this one. Send hashtag TIP win or hashtag NRG win to @LOL Esports on Twitter. Who is it going to be as NRG sits, I wouldn't say comfortably in 5th, but they're +1 and -1 over the various compositions, or their competition, I should say. And we'll see if NRG can protect the Kog'Maw when they take on Team Impulse in our first game of the day.
All right, let's see. Also, you know what else we have to look forward to? Some top laners that want to build Banner of Command.
Oh,
baby. Portals.
I can't wait to shoutcast promoted minions fighting Void Spawn.
Yeah, Tahm Kench versus Nautilus. Very likely that we are going to see a couple of those items in this game. I also think that Gragas, you know, well, it's not the first thing he wants to go for. Definitely is also one candidate for building those items.
Mm-hmm. We've actually seen a pretty big number of jungle tanks will go roughly first or second items drop portal.
It's just so important as far as late game playmaking is concerned, because you really do get just this set it and forget it. You put it in a side lane. It corks the minions pretty much for the duration of the item unless they commit an entire person down to that side, or a Zerat or a banner minion of their own down there. And it really does just make your late game decision tree a lot easier to follow. Kind of cuts off one of the branches that you have to deal with.
Totally agree. So we'll see how well these teams can play with the various side lane pushes, whether with champions or items. Impulse running late into the jungle with not a ton of vision.
Yeah, they did get a bit deeper. However, they were seen on the entry here. So as you can see, NRG waiting around. Looks like they're going to decide to just sneak away the Wolf camp while they invade on the other side and steal away both, maybe? Yeah, go for both.
I think it's definitely correct to get both parts of the blue buff there.
They're just so valuable in the early game. So much of the experience in gold is in those mini golems.
Gets about a third of a level on the Kog'Maw, plus 50-ish gold. Impact stealing away part of that little blue buff, and
Kench.
Gate is slightly sad. Gromp was stolen, just like the parts of blue buff were stolen, so both dual lanes had some impact on the enemy jungle.
NRG, yeah. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we'll just slide right past that one. NRG, though, did come away with a little bit extra as far as the scraps. I know, Freak, you're better than that.
I am better than that. I appreciate
Look
the
at this
vote of
Janna
confidence.
gank, though. Level 1
The Janna gank coming in. What's he even got to cast? He's got a shield for GBM. Woo!
What? That was it? Just
14 attack damage was granted for that one auto attack. What a gank.
Well, he also shielded Orianna for one, so...
That's what I meant. The 14 attack damage from rank 1 shield.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got an attack of his own in.
And look at this. Blue buff steal coming through. Of course, Impulse did not go for their own blue on the far left side of the map, but with their dual lane being down here, Procxin gets that for himself. Level 2 here. Moon gets that aforementioned blue buff, and we have equal buff trades here. Gold exactly, well, not exactly equal, but 4.1 thousand now a piece.
It's so close, right down the line. So pretty much dead even here.
Yep, completely standard lane swap game. The question is now, how does phase 2 of the swap go, which lasts until about 5 minutes. Will teams push the waves? Will they freeze the wave? Where do the duo lanes go? Are they going to look to knock down the other outer turret, or will they match up is the real question.
Yeah. Who gets solo Linux, or solo turret gold? Should be the top laners, and then should be switched over to pushing right after. Let's see these masteries.
And I like that trinket ward by Gate, by the way, because it lets Feng know if he sees Kalista come down to shove the wave and leave.
Yeah.
Or not Kalista, but the Kog'Maw, rather. If you see the duo lane come in, don't give him the wave to push.
I mean, that's why that ward is so common now, because it really provides you with a lot of options as well. You can teleport deep on it if your opponents, you know, are 2-bit, don't respect you enough. You can go with the dive. You can have your top laner teleport on it later. You can see NRG have placed that same ward as well deep in the jungle. So both teams playing it out cautiously, though. And both top laners soaking as long as they can. Let's see if they turn the switch to start pushing here. Feng has already flipped the switch. He is pushing his lane. And up top, Impact actually left it.
A rough time of it. He didn't have enough damage to deal, really. He managed to throw a minion back under his turret, if you'll watch him in a second.
Yeah, tried to get one.
He eats it and runs it away. But yeah, LOD will have a cannon minion to push with. So will Mash, actually. So neither top lane are able to push that quickly.
Still pretty much,
yeah. They're very close to equal. And we will see that these are going to be, once again, swapped lanes here. As round 2 of the lane swap comes in, Procxin and Gate running into the jungle, Pinkcourt into the Tribush to make sure this part of the map is safe. There are no trinkets available, but there is, of course, the Smite Stone for Procxin, so he will see who's behind the turret. Yeah. This will be a very easy turret take on the top side.
The big thing to me is actually that Moon is ahead in experience against a Nidalee in the Gragas matchup. This is a matchup that we've seen so many times, you know, in LCK, pretty much across the world, of Nidalees in standard lanes being able to invade the Gragas very early. There's not much that Gragas can do to chase Nidalee out of his jungle without help from his lanes. However, in the lane swap scenario, everything's evened out, and Moon has actually eked out a small lead over Procxin.
But at this point, Moon's like literally a full level up. The AD carries the same XP, top lane is the same XP, but there's a full level advantage on Moon.
Yeah, there is one extra camp here from Procxin to pick up, but that does mean it's going to take that extra time, and Moon will have that ability to go up to the Wraith camp if he does want to keep it even. Both turrets going to go down here.
Yeah, no surprise,
swap.
Kog is better at killing turrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be dropped. I don't see any defense coming in time. Bot lane tier 2 is the next question, because NRG right now are still pushing in on that side of the map, and Moon actually even taking away more jungle camps to Pirean's dismay. He will not be able to take away these raptors, rather. A wave will crash into the turret on this bot side of the map. Top lane adder will fall this wave. Down it goes. Mash is going to get that without problems.
Yeah, the big difference is actually Mash got his the freeze, whereas NRG pushed it in. By hard pushing it in, LOD got 10 more CS over Mash. But this lane top is going to be pushing towards TIP's side now because Mash did that and left the wave there. So we'll see if that actually changes anything, as NRG are continuing to force objectives on the map. They're not letting this downtime sort of equalize.
Ooh, Smite Fight comes in, and it's going to go to the red team. That is NRG's Moon getting it. Has to flash away, plus take a summoner heal. LOD's W is on, gets the ulti in from Pirean's Viktor. Magical Journey gets the team away partially, but the rest of TAP are stuck on this side of the wall. Pirean says, are you going to make me burn Flash? I'll wait around for a bit. Impact finds Feng, level 4 versus level 3. Shockwave was cast and hits nothing from flashes. G1 forces a flash wave. Pirean re-engaging now, level 6. Again, a level 3 Tahm Kench, not exactly scary. Flashes down, gray health is up, pops it, but still low on health, and that will mean first blood goes into Mash. Impulse punished the dragon attempt.
Yeah, what an awkward first fight there. It goes so slowly when so few people have boots yet, but yeah, Impulse are able to get that first blood on the back of it off of Impact and his teleport flash.
And that means Rift Herald comes in for Impulse. NRG made the greedy play to shove, then Dragon. Impulse shoved, then recalled, and Mash was in with better items, and they get to take Herald off those kills.
Yeah, I thought it was actually going to go in NRG's favor if they were able to get out the back of that one, but because of that, because there was no one who got to go top after that, the freeze that Mash also set up before this all went down got to push further in their favor, and it will be easier for Impulse to control. But yeah, Moon did get the smite onto the dragon there. Procxin leapt in a little bit early on the Nidalee, but he didn't, you know, use his smite combo early, and he just was quick on the fingers there. Or Moon be able to get it. Here's the re-engage though. Pirean didn't flash out. Procxin did flash a shockwave.
And then GBM's got nothing to do anymore. Impact just isolated. He had TP'd so aggressively in.
Yeah.
He was roughly 1v4ing Feng plus the mid and jungler, and then just chased down afterwards.
Yeah. Rough here for Impact too. After yesterday we were commending him for a good game on Poppy.
Yeah. But now he has the lowest CS in the game for anyone not a support. Level 4, actually lower than... Actually, he's still got more XP than KonKwon, I guess. Poor Janna. Never gets anything.
But yeah, like I said, this freeze that we talked about being set up earlier puts Impact in a dangerous situation. He's a level down and extended in this lane. That's why they're actually bringing Moon over to this side of the map to try and help him push this wave into the turret. You know, at least try and get it reset here. They've got vision, and Moon doing some counter trembling.
Yeah, both teams have wards in this this jungle right now, so Moon would get spotted if he walked any farther left right now. Trinket wards don't have the longest of sight ranges.
Impact actually having to back off of that top side, and they're recalling. He's still level 4.
And
Feng
advantage
on Nautilus is up to level 6 with the teleport. So he has a huge, huge sway in this fight. He's got just so much more potential.
Yeah. NRG can't really fight them. Rift Herald buff, and they use it to push down bot lane tier 2. The huge mini wave works out. What a knockback, though. Mash stuck in the team. Heals, runs away. Flashpoint as well. Great double stun by Gate. Here's the push in. Impact trying to save some lives, but still the stun comes through from the TP, and that's 1 kill picked up already. Impact might just be the second. GBM comes in. Can he get the shockwave? It is up. Impact still refuses to die, and there's the shockwave in. They get Feng, and now Gate's overextended. The second W popped. A second kill comes in for NRG. There's the Chaos Storm churning, can't quite knock down Moon, who hides under the cliffs.
What do we talk about those mid-game fights where you're chasing or getting a little bit too hyped up and you forget about the position of that Orianna ball? GBM gets something back for energy and turns it around. That is huge for them too, because it could have been a horrible, horrible swing, and off of this, Impulse could have just had a huge, huge mid-game push. That right there, saving that Kalista ultimate and Gate holding on to counter the Gragas ultimate was huge. Impact, pretty much all he gets to do here is eat Gragas for a second and save Moon, but again, the level 7 now, Feng coming in with the ultimate on Nautilus was so huge. And they overstep here. Orianna, nice shockwave here from GBM, and they're able to turn that back around. But Pirean snipes 1 extra for himself. Impact, again, just gets brutalized here.
Sniping. Oh, that explosive cast was mandatory. Mash cannot get in range for the Rend. Impact properly timing how much damage he would take from it, popping gray health as late as possible. And then Mash being out of range. Very well played to keep their top laner safe. But Impulse are up 1,700 gold off the 1 turret lead they have so far, plus the farm leads in the top laner. Still 15 CS only on Impact. He's getting no money this game.
The ramifications of that early dragon by NRG have been huge. Keeping track of the giant minion waves and the large pieces of experience that they've lost out on this map. Giant opportunity cost going for that early dragon, and there's not that much benefit from getting early dragon 6%. Either, so
there's really on this.
We'll see if they can come back from this. The mid game will be in Impulse's favor. They definitely want to keep up the pressure, and they want to get Nautilus to one of those early split pushing items, but it doesn't look like he's going for them.
Nah, he's building
definitely going to be delayed.
Be a solo pusher for the most part and be a bit of a team fight threat. Now it is worth pointing out that LOD is still doing well. 96 CS. He's got way more than anyone else on Impulse, and he's got a kill and an assist. So this Kog'Maw is actually taking off at better than the rate you might expect, actually, for one. On 2 items, Kog'Maw is the scariest 2-item AD carry in League of Legends, maybe even scariest 2-item champion in League of Legends.
And gold,
we'll have to respect that.
We often, you always get focused on the team gold, but really where the gold is focused has a huge, huge
a lot richer than anyone.
The team fights play out. And with it being focused on Kog'Maw, if they just keep him alive with the support champions that they have drafted, you're right, he can have a huge mid-game impact.
Push in here for Dragon number 2 on the field. TIP are there first. They've grouped around it. No teleport for Feng, but he's on top of the Dragon, so who cares with this one? Impact will not burn his to show up. He will stay top in and get some farm back for himself, doubling what he had a minute and a half ago. 30 now on this Tahm Kench. But hey, a Dragon is a nice buff to have. Impulse can walk away cleanly. Rift Herald is back up as well if they want to keep using their map control to get some easy objectives, some easy gold.
And they've kept Impact up top in solo experience right now, which is good for them. He's stabilizing a little bit. Most of this gold lead is in Impulse's extra turret that they have. There still would be a lead for them after turrets are equalized, but this is going to be another Rift Herald over for them. That's going to allow probably...
Goes to Mash.
Actually giving it to Mash. Would not have guessed that one.
Yeah, last time we went to Procxin, I think it made sense because Procxin made sure to show up to those turrets that were getting pushed, buffing those minions. This time around, Mash is going to be wearing this buff here, and of course the damage on Kalista certainly helps.
And he will probably complete that pretty soon. He actually is extremely far behind, as you said, but 2 waves, top and bottom, pushing towards Impulse to try and catch right now.
Looks like bot lane will be held, and Feng now has his teleport back, so kudos to Impulse playing around their teleport cooldown disadvantage when they had TP'd Feng in. They just grouped up around the next 2 objectives, just walked him with the team, pushed the waves first, then just walked bottom to top to everywhere else they needed to be. Teleport is back up, and Impulse sitting on a 1,700 gold lead. Doesn't suck.
Definitely better than a 1,700 gold disadvantage.
True that. But Kog'Maw's fast approaching max items. Not max items, but the 2 item spike. About 1,300 gold shy, roughly, of Hurricane right now.
To be fair, that's like...
That's roughly max items. Ooh, ulti comes in, hits only GBM and some minions. Buy some times. Gravity Well comes across. Almost lands, but LOD is 1 hit away from expiring. And there's the ulti. Goodbye. Taking out KonKwon. Still is not level 6. The pickoff on the entire bot lane of energy. Moon's forced to run as well. What a great engage by Impulse. GBM running for his life. Shockwave still up. Impact just to be here for moral support. Moon dodge the javelin.
Great coordinated collapse there from Impulse. They engage from multiple angles, and energy just get pincered at the turret. Kog'Maw going down. That's where all their money was. Remember, LOD was the one with the most money in the game. He was everything for energy. If he goes down, they have to cede any objective. Impulse take the mid turret. That's really going to open up the map for them. They already had great vision coverage up on the red side jungle, and that is a really big mid-game swing here for Impulse.
It's so hard to keep track of how good Team Impulse really is, as well as NRG Esports, to be honest. NRG had an early game deficit this bad and just controlled the map against Renegades.
Teleport going while the Tempered Fate is channeled, and Mashme is able to get Gate right in for an amazing binding right there. Comboed with the Viktor burst means that all Feng has to do is come in, point click after his teleport. Then is able to finish off Janna pretty easily. And all during that, Impact on this Tahm Kench up top side. Didn't have enough time to react. Everything was over too late.
Yep.
And not able to shove quickly either. Tahm Kench doesn't really have one of those wave clearing abilities, can't flip the switch very quickly, so just has to walk back and lick his wounds.
He tried the TP, counted it when he realized it was over.
That's it.
So he's got a 2-minute extra window on that teleport cooldown, but I don't know if it's going to mean much with energy or falling far
right
behind.
Now he's setting up a play in the bush, though. Doesn't seem like it has a high chance of success.
Level 8, anchor toss in, plenty damage dealt, great knockback, catches Mash! That's Shockwave, though, and Mash goes down. GBM running, and Impulse maybe betraying their teammates. Impact and Feng stuck inside the Tempered Fate, and down he goes.
Success!
Yeah.
He found it. I mean, he's going for a counterplay here on mid for Pirean as well.
And he's going to flash for the Q. He's going to land the auto attacks. And nom, 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 nom. Impact is hungry. Viktor's not going to be one of this time. Taken down 3-0. Oh, that fight for energy.
Chapter 2, Impact's revenge. He's able to make play after play here. Sitting in the brush, all you had to do is force the engage there because it was 5-on-4 up top.
Yeah.
And they knew they had the numbers advantage. So just getting them to focus on Impact, he's waving his floating arms and his
and tongue around.
And they actually focus on him, which allows, again, GBM to set up a great shockwave. GBM's able to completely burst out Mashme, and he barely got away with a tiny bit of health. Nice cleanup there from energy. So both teams really taking advantage of 4v5 scenarios. This time, Impact, they get everything to burn on him. Tahm Kench, the punching bag. Jeez. It was Gragas ultimate there from Moon was great, right into GBM, placing that shockwave. And even though they get off the Tempered Fate, only delays it because he catches one member from each team. Bang, no way he's getting out. And immediately, Impact looks for more. You can tell he's always thinking for the next step. He's like, yes, that's great. We got our turnaround up top. What else can we grab? Because Pirean stayed mid on the Viktor trying to push, he's able to get a second play on top of that.
And I got to give some props to both Moon and GBM for their mechanical play in that fight. Moon with the perfect explosive cast knockback on a Mash.
Got all 4 members, I believe.
Into body slam, into shockwave. Just chained one after the other. Mash could do nothing about that. And for as much flack as Moon got to the loss to Echo Fox, this is a much better game for him.
Definitely one of the guys that NRG and fans have been looking at to step it up, and that was definitely a big play for Moon. Capitalizing on that distraction by, hey, gets a flash for himself there as well.
All right, continued success here for NRG, and look at that. The gold lead has shrunk to under 2,000. The kill scores in their favor. Dragon is up. Ooh, okay, Impact gets hit, but who really cares? He's tanky, he's a fish man, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Impulse going to try to push in mid as best they can, and ooh, that's actually a pretty good anchor toss. Shockwave only gets a minion wave, not the best for GBM, and the ulti's coming across. It will knock up LOD and buy some time. Those are Viktor.
Yeah, neither team really looking to force it now. Those are 2 big cooldowns for both of them, though, so kind of on equal footing. The difference is LOD has both summoners up, and without the crucial Nautilus ultimate guaranteeing a knockup on that Kog'Maw, double summoners Kog with the Kench and Janna on his team, very, 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 very tough to take down. So Impulse going to back off without that.
Got to push in mid first.
Takes Dragon instead.
Feng has recalled to set up a TP flank because he wants it. He's staying in base still, waiting for that play to happen. Ulti comes in. They want Moon, who is missing Flash now after flashing away. Gate takes some damage. Magical journeys the heck out of there for good reason.
They also just got home guards available here.
Yeah.
Just cresting 20 minutes. So Feng would have been able to come in with those home guards. But yeah, LOD able to survive that. Still has both summoners as well, which are going to be some of the main things to track for these team fights. Impact right back in this one for top lane, though. Even though he's still down on CS, if you look at the items, he's just down move speed. So yeah, as long as he's able to position correctly, should be fine. And really, like we said, Tahm Kench is a punching bag. It's what his kit is half built around.
Yeah, true.
Soaking up abilities, taking cooldowns from the enemy team.
Okay, so sitting 1,000 gold down overall is Impact, as Feng gets a couple crystals for himself. Dragon 2 did go over to Impulse after that mid lane push. They walked down, and that was secured pretty cleanly. But now Hurricane has been completed by LOD. He got that just in the last back, less than a minute ago here. Now has a red buff, and is level 11. This is the Kog'Maw scary power spike that every team must respect. But the question is, what could NRG even push? All 3 outer turrets are already gone. So pushing in farther is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It opens you up to flank.
See, this is why I kind of recommend that Nautilus going for one of those earlier, either Zerat Portal or Banner. Probably Banner, because it just gives you so many more options once you do get to this mid-game stage. They could easily have him right now down bottom. Just pop in one of those, and it really does limit NRG's ability to control all 3 waves. But as of right now, it'll just be Feng versus Impact down there in the split wars, trying to get vision for themselves in the red side jungle, while not losing the constant slap fight.
That's true. 30 CS deficit might not mean too much. They're both level 10 right now, and as far as closest to 11, they're roughly equal footing. Feng will hit it first, but not by too much.
Oh, they're going to collapse on Impact, actually. Who do they commit? Because if they commit everyone from mid, then there's already pings from NRG down on Baron. I think if you leave that alone in the 1 versus 1, Feng will slowly get an advantage.
Yeah, that chomp did basically nothing. Impact still losing health down to half HP right now, and it's not like Feng is going to let him walk away with this one.
Gonna have to dodge.
Ooh, good dodge on the anchor. Level 11 to level 10. Mid lane pushed in, though. Impulse have to respect Shockwave, of course. Turret is taking some burn damage, though. Dragon 2 allows these chips on turret to mean quite a bit more. Feng and Impact fighting yet again.
This fight.
The Sunfire capes, the Grasp of the Undying.
It's actually kind of a tense, because it is difficult for either of them to fully disengage. They can kind of keep each other entangled for a long time. And the health bars are getting lower. Slowly but surely.
I know. The Feng having to spam a lot of mana to get that shield back up. Impact can just walk away and regen. I believe it's a quarter of the damage he's taken.
Both of them got all the way through their corruption potions, though.
Yep. And then they recall and home guard back in and try again. 20%, not 25%. 1/5 of the damage Delta Top 10 is regenerated. Had to correct that one. Couple of pink wards put up here. You're seeing Impulse have one over their blue buff, one on the left side of mid. And as far as Baron control goes, it's basically tied. Both have a little bit of vision around that side of the map. Impulse still set on this 2,500 gold lead. NRG really not budging from that mark here. GBM continues to farm excellently, 221 minions with that ward counting. Ludens, Athenes, and maybe a Void Staff next up.
Yeah, and the vision spread too for NRG with all these pink wards that they now have in their inventory, plus are already sitting on the map. They're just trying to spread out vision enough to not get anyone get surprised, because as long as they don't get flanked in from the backside, they have a pretty secure protect Kog'maw comp. Right now they're getting spread out across the map though. I don't think they'll be able to deal with the giant minion wave in time, and as we said, Tahm Kench can't push quickly. Impact is slowly trying to answer this down bottom. But it's going to take him a while. Does get the minion wave up to the turret at least. But man, he's going to have to answer soon, or they give up inhibitor turret pressure.
Wow, a lot of damage here. Yeah, top lane tier 2 taken via better rotations by Impulse. They got enough control over top jungle, but now NRG wants back in. Impulse only a few wards to spot what's coming. They don't actually see where that Orianna or Gragas were.
Pirean trying to go answer this Tahm Kench split push. Impact making very slow work of the turret. See if he can actually make slow work of Impact himself.
I think the... Dodge is the lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Not that big of a deal. I think he just shot it past.
Yeah. But now it's a non-teleport person in the bot lane holding on the opposite side of the map from Baron. Dragon is up in 55 seconds. That would be number 3 for Impulse. Not a bad thing to grab, all things considered. With the Rift Scuttle being taken by TIP on the way out as well, that means there's no easy Baron sneaks either. Impact would have to flash to sneak LOD into the pit, or ult to do it, and that hasn't happened.
And I think we are just going to have both teams decide on accepting the fact they're going to have to win one of those mid-game team fights to turn this. Since neither of them have opted for the split-pushing items, one of the traditional ones, it is going to come down to who gets the better positioning as far as the engage, and can they not only dive to Kog'Maw, but also avoid that Orianna ball placement, because this is a 302 impact with 250 CS, highest in the game, or GBM, excuse me. GBM on Orianna there, so is going to have the ability. Ooh, let's see what they do with this flank. It looks like they're trying to bypass here, but could give them
tons of vision. They're going to lose mid tier 2.
Could give them Baron positioning though. Can you threaten Baron enough to draw them back off this turret? Yes. Okay. Indeed they can. Impact is going to take a lot of damage though for his great health.
Take a lot of damage with Baron. The suspend on Baron to make NRG wait for a few seconds gives enough time for Impulse to walk over, and they still have control over mid and over Dragon.
Yep, that's the second line of minions going straight up mid. They can just return to that mid lane push here. And NRG, they're the ones that need the battle line set up perfectly before the fight begins. So trying to flank is not...
Impact ults then canceled. Mid lane tier 2 goes down. That's 2 unanswered turrets in a row. The only attempt that NRG made was a Baron feint.
Yeah, NRG,
that was canceled.
NRG aren't really the team that want to engage, not the ones that want to get the flank off. Tahm Kench bringing anyone really in. It's a bit of a dangerous move. Tahm Kench punching bag, not strong first engage. I guess if he brought Moon in and they got a crazy good explosive cask, it could work out. There is vision on this Baron start.
This is the attempt. It's going to go down pretty fast.
In the pit, dangerous!
In the pit. Ulti onto LOD, knocks about 3,000 health on Baron. Whoa! They already picked off the Janna. The fight continues with the Impact in the front lines. Knocked out, but he can't even pop the gray health. Shockwave catches 2 of the backliners, but Impulse are still alive. Off a 2 for 0. Gate goes in to bait some cooldowns and flashes away. Feng almost catches the fish, but now he does. And LOD is just gone. A 3 for 0. Another team fight win for Impulse.
I don't know, these repeated Baron starts from Impulse, something has them focused on it so heavily, but Impulse do a great job of punishing them, not once but twice for the exact same bait.
That seemed like such lost shot calling. Impulse, they just warded it, and NRG still.
All right, they could come up with a steal here though. GBM special.
Ooh, the rend happens, Moon's dead. 4 kills in a row, and a Baron, and 2 turrets, and a Dragon. That's a scoreboard right now for Impulse.
definitely going to want to take another look at, you know, not even just this team fight, but what led up to this team fight and the decision making here from NRG. But as you can see, Impulse make a very quick collapse. Even though it was a shockwave that did burst down Pirean fairly well, Mash on the front lines with Kalista was not damaged at all. He just heals up Pirean. He's got Feng right there with him. Hook doesn't, oh, it did land. It was on the other side, so he got snagged by the wall there and got in range for the root on the passive auto.
What a shot.
But yeah, NRG put themselves in a bit of a hole now. Gonna have to try and defend at inhibitor turrets for a while here. Hold on for Kog'Maw to try and burn someone down.
Yeah. What an interesting situation we have here. Now 8,000 gold up. Impulse are very much in the driver's seat, wearing a Baron buff. They could knock down, they've already knocked down the 6 tier 1 and tier 2 turrets. Inhibitors are maybe next up.
A single Spider-Man hook here from Feng. And he's able to negate that ultimate from impact. Plus draw people away from bottom. So wow. Impulse get a very, very easy inhibitor turret.
NRG have not shown anything good this game aside from teamfight. Yesterday they played from a deficit in just absolutely manhandled map control from Renegades. Today they look entirely lost. Impulse have been making a lot of great aggressive moves, knocking turrets down. But
yeah.
Yesterday Impulse looked terrible.
Very good job punishing today for Impulse. Taking advantage every time NRG backs off. See if they can do it here on this turret. Gate does have Tempered Fate ready.
No one wants to risk attacking that turret because of the threat of Shockwave. Look at where the ball is by GBM on the steps, on attack range. Impact throwing Nautilus in under the turret, and of course Sunfire Cape would pull aggro, so cute play there. A little bit of damage to the inhibitor. That's a dead minion. Goodbye, cannon. Sniped by the Kog'Maw.
All right. They got the inhibitor turret fairly easily, but NRG have been holding on since. They're waiting for this Baron to time out. Let's see. Another minion wave worth of Baron buff here still left on Impulse, though.
22 seconds left. And this is the final wave to get to push with. Inhibitor under fire. Poke on an impact means nothing. Traps coming down from Procxin. On that first pick, Nidalee. Feng in the front. Ulti pop hits 2 backliners. Will this be the button to go? Not just yet. A stun onto KonKwon. And more damage on the inhibitor. Baron has timed out. 37-16, the gold advantage from the Baron buff.
Oh, they really don't want to let this inhibitor go with 30% HP left on it. But Impulse do not want to overextend and throw one of those 30-minute fights to a Kog'Maw team. Also have to respect this Gragas ultimate. Last time it was Moon setting up GBM's Shockwave on the top side of the map. And they will respect it. Not going to overreach here. Impulse, now remember, they also have the 3 dragons to rely on.
Yep.
So, as we said, you don't want to throw away that 30-minute team fight to a Kog'Maw comp.
Yeah.
Can run over you after that, even if they are currently down in global gold. And Impulse look like they do want to play the dragon game.
Yeah, and honestly, 6-Atom Kog'Maw is not as insane as old 6-Atom Kog'Maw. The spike is much earlier. That spike's already happened. It's not like this game gets farther out of hand.
Especially
because LOD gets items.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially since Nautilus is such a hard tank to get around for Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
And Feng can just build pure resistances. He's going very, very high combat effectiveness. Only a sort of frivolous purchase was the captain boots there, which is going to speed up the rest of the team.
So they can chase him in.
Front line.
I like it. Only costs 450 gold.
Let's see if they actually do fight over this dragon number 4, because that's not really the tipping point for NRG. Uh-oh.
Ooh, flash forced away from KonKwon to stay alive. Moon just taking some damage. Impulse looking to posture around the mid lane. Dragon's up in 10 seconds. That is number 4, as you mentioned, for Impulse.
With no vision here for NRG, and Dragon number 4 not being the one that actually breaks the game, I might consider letting them have this one and trying to shove up mid to grab a turret, but they are not really considering it looks like.
No.
Ping's going down, top side, or excuse me, this bottom lane doesn't have a turret, remember, and that's a big minion wave that will run into the inhibitor.
Could kill it.
It's regenerating, but that's, yeah, they get nothing for it.
There's the call. NRG having to back off and defend that bot lane inhibitor that would have died to a minion wave. Yes, they have to give up Dragon for it, but they all make the same call together. They decided before it was too late, make the defensive play, I think the correct play. Let the game go on 6 more minutes.
I think they could have made that call a little bit earlier.
You're right.
But yeah, it would have only saved them a few seconds.
100 health on an inhibitor is going to reach them anyway. Yeah, likely not really a big problem here.
Maybe one more wave of farming or something like that.
True. NRG looking to make a play at the top lane jungle line. They know there's a wave up there that Impulse would like to use to push, and well, that won't happen. Impulse once again go back to the base and buy. Zhonya's Hourglass has been picked up for Procxin. Double Abyssal Scepter on their 2 mages. There's plenty of magic just to survive GBM's damage as he pushes in towards Death Cap. Kog'maw has gotten Ruin King as well, so LOD still scaling up. I would want to see an Infinity Edge as his last offensive item in order to try to crack through these tanks a bit better. But that is 3,000 something gold away. It's not exactly easy to buy.
Yeah, and remember, with all these disables that Impulse actually have, I think they can just overpower NRG in a team fight right now. If they are able to place Nautilus Ultimate or chain Nautilus Ultimate even into a Bard Ultimate just to delay the damage output of Kog'Maw, this Kalista, you can't get away from this Kalista in a team fight with the Nautilus Ultimate running through your team, and Mash actually having a pretty decent power spike of his own, just completing the stairs now. He can get right in the middle of the team.
Yeah.
Runan's procs on everybody, get huge rends. You can't get away from him. And if Kog'Maw's damage is delayed, he can easily out DPS.
Here's the teleport, here's the play, ulti hits and it gets Moon. The tank on the front lines walks away, Impact eats him up, but now you have Feng in the back line. Can NRG knock him down? Ulti hits LOD, knocks up KonKwon as well, but he runs. There's the W pop for LOD. Time's out in 4 more seconds.
Whoa!
And Moon knocks him in, but Kog's W is down, so there's no damage to deal anymore. Anchor comes in, Impact eats him up, keeps him safe. Now the Tahm Kench is stunned, pops the gray health, Feng chases KonKwon, flashes, chases for the kill, Impact low as well. The Javelin hits, Feng can't quite get the kill, neither can Procxin. Comes in, but he gets LOD with Pirean. They've killed the AD carry, they've also knocked down Moon, 2 for 0, and map control.
And that's going to be them running right up the mid lane. This should be at least 2 inhibitors. They might even try and push in on Nexus turrets after this. GBM is the hope for NRG, trying to wave clear here, but Impulse are on the doorsteps.
But there is no shockwave for this Orianna. I can't imagine this fight going well for NRG anymore. Double inhib is down, Baron is alive, and Impulse take the very risk-averse approach of saying, you know what, guys, let's just back off. They have plenty of time to go for Baron. 20 seconds on Kog, 20 on this Gragas as well.
Impulse are sitting pretty. 2 inhibitors killed. Dragon number 5 is on the horizon for them, and Baron is available right now. So they have so many options with just setting up vision. Let's take a look at this engage here from Gate. Does land the Tempered Fate, which is going to cause NRG to start using cooldowns. Feng on the outside here. There's the Kog'Maw W, activated there just for the chunk. And this is the point where we get a lot of flash exchanges. And pretty much everybody had their flashes up, so there's the other disengage. Impact going to try and use his flash to get out as well. Procxin going to make sure that he doesn't get away though. Jumps in, does have the Zhonya's for himself, and it's actually Feng who comes up with that big hook to capitalize on Procxin's sort of re-engage there, the Nidalee bait.
Yeah.
Juicy looking Nidalee, want to take him down, but you know, Zhonya's is completed, so you can go for those more aggressive pounces on Nidalee towards the late game when you do have that item to rely upon. And a good job by Feng there, capitalizing on it and finding that hook.
Yeah. He was solo chasing KonKwon. KonKwon got back to the base. He's like, oh, guess I'm behind Kog'Maw now.
That one.
I'll just go this way and kill somebody. And that worked out just fine. 10,000 gold lead. Impulse did not risk rushing the Baron after the inhibitor take in the 4v3. They let everyone respawn. They killed a bunch of wards. They're going to kill another one. And then with double inhibs down, there's very small windows NRG can use to fight this. Dragon's up 1.5 as well. That's just Dragon 5. That just wins the game.
Impulse have all the time in the world right now. They don't have to force Baron. They could just bait. Maybe they'll get an advantageous pick. Maybe they won't. Maybe they could just wait for that Dragon to come up. but whether that happens or not, minions are marching into NRG's base.
Yep, there's the giant wave from the bot lane. It has, I think, 2 supers in it, which makes it incredibly hard to fight. Impact is the one sent to defend. The other members of NRG are looking to contest the Baron. This is Impulse leading up to a small bit of chance, but it's
got to go for broke here.
A high percentage victory. They ult Moon, and the blue team has gotten Baron despite the shockwave. Good play by everyone involved there to keep Moon out of it, and there's the push in. LOD is in such a bad spot. The stun comes through. The team comes around, blowing ultimates. Here comes the knockup. Here comes the attempted assassination as Moon goes down to Feng. LOD in the back line is doing some damage, but Mash halfway through a portal. That leaves Feng out to try, but it's still a 2-for-1 so far. Impact holding a Kog'Maw just goes down anyway. A double kill for Pirean. Down goes LOD. That should be enough to win the game. And Impulse, would you believe it, have won the team fight, and they're going to take the game over NRG.
Oh, LOD does get the good Kog'Maw passive off there to answer a kill. But Impulse are going to take this game and get right back in there for that playoff spot that they're trying to grab the last one. They're going to have to make so much happen, though. Woo. But this is definitely a needed step for them. If everything goes right, they might still be able to claim one.
There's always a chance. Impulse moves up to 5 wins, which ties Echo Fox. Problem is, Impulse are 0-2 to Echo Fox on the split, so head-to-head tiebreaker would immediately go to